Hey, alright. I'll be right back. So here we go. I'm going to allow you to watch this chess really quick. I'll be right back. Alright. Let's just see how this ends. Okay. There we go. Let's get on to our game. The player is Chao Yu Cheng. I'll spell her name. Chouchanik. And her last name, that's her first name. Her last name is Airapeatian. Versus Mina Chen. Wow, that was so interesting. So white is actually 2009, and black is 1981. Okay, let's start it up. Let's get this party rolling. All right. Basically, a Sicilian. She's gonna start playing. It's a Sicilian setup. Oops, I turned that off. Oops, sorry. It's F5, F3. I mean, knight C6, D4. C4. f3. d6, pawn d6, and this is an interesting setup. You're going down more of a slide of a Caro-Kann, so, and a potential Maroczy bind. Bishop b2, and white's going to want a castle here, so knight f6, knight c3, black castles, and then white castles, rook e8, h3. This stops the knight from plopping itself in, or sticking a bishop right there too. Either one, so you ain't going any further. Bishop here. So they're all setting up for their movements. And rook c1. So that it's kind of an oddly positioned for sure. b6. This is to lock down this square here. Potentially, if black could, he can get his knight into here onto c5. Knight c5 would be a good move, especially after you'd probably have to go a5 first, and then get your knight here to hold that position. b3, queen c7. Now the rooks are connected, so black's the first to have entered the middle game. Bishop d3, queen b8. You can actually have these rooks are still connected, so black's still in the middle game, even though his queen is on the back rank. Bishop b1. He wants to get a knight into d5. Knight a5. And the idea is to actually go like this. To basically come here, come here, here, and then there. Queen d2. Bishop c6. This is a double keeping the pressure on this pawn. Rook fe1. And they're slowly building, and they actually want to potentially play bishop d4 to put a pin on this knight. Rook c d8. Queen g5. And then bishop a8. This is now if the knight ever wanted to, the knight could actually plop in here, come down, or here, and then here. Let's see what they actually do. Knight d5 is what was played. Bishop takes, which is actually a dubious move. This is not a good move. Should have taken probably with the knight. Positionally, this is at least as bad as allowing white to take on f6 here. Potentially best would have been taking, and then if pawn takes, you're kind of up a creek without a paddle. You're gonna have to play rook here. And then if rook comes up, and then you have these two pawns to take scope on. So that was slight inaccurate move. Now the pawns are connected, and I think that white is so superiorly positioned here. I'd almost give white with a proper play a win here, because now look at the bishops. This bishop that was basically biting on granite here, this pawn takes, and so now this bishop's biting here, slicing and dicing here, and if the bishop gets here, you have a slice there. So it's like, whoa. And what has really black accomplished? Not much. Knight b7. The idea is somehow to get a knight in here and maybe here and then in there, but that doesn't really do anything. Knight d4. Now the knight can come in with a forking threat right there. So queen c7 has to be forced. Forcing moves. Forcing moves. Knight c6, and this is now, in my opinion, close to winning for white. Almost winning. And then it's only move 22. Wow. Because black is just squeezed to smithereens. Rook e2. And what's going to happen is now they're going to double, and then you always have this attack. It's like, what? And potentially, if white wanted to, white could play bishop here and get rid of this bishop, which is his only active piece. e5. Yeah, he rightfully doesn't open the position, because that would have been silly. He would have lost this knight, so he really can't. f4 is actually played here. E takes f. Rook takes e check. Rook takes. Bishop, let me see here. Queen takes f. And knight d7. Trying to get a knight in here. Rook f1. Knight e5. He just grabbed a pawn. Queen c5 check. Queen f2 was actually a blunder. Surprisingly, he played this move here, which actually loses on the spot. Knight to f3 check, exclam. G takes f. And now bishop bishop d. This was a forcing move here. This was a blunder. They say the black set up a forcing move. C8. That's actually a dubious move. They're saying the best move here, if you were wondering what the best move would have been, was actually king h1 with a superior move. he didn't do that, so hold on, let me go back really quick to. I just want to make sure that our position looks correct with the other position. Yep. Yeah, okay. And then let's see, Queen H2. Check. Takes. H4. She takes. Takes. And Queen C7. Oops, not knight b5. I knew there was something wrong there. Knight d8. Knight d4. King. Queen d7, King g2, Queen e8, or e7, pawn f4. Yeah, this is his only opportunity right here is to go for an attack. Queen f6. King f3, knight b7, which is gonna allow the knight to come in here. So b4. Wowzers. Rook a8. So if we notice, what black's trying to do is find proper positional spots for his pieces, and white's trying to deprive black of all of his best in routes of an attack. See, black's idea was potentially to get a knight to a4. And then take the pawn on b6, maybe b4. Knight to a4 and take on b4. He's black's looking for all of white's weaknesses, any way to weaken a position. Rook e1. But if black plays here, white would be more than happy to actually check, and then potentially play knight here and bishop there and win the queen back again. So it's not over yet. Never, never, never get lackadaisy when it comes to your play. He played g5 here. f5. Queen h6. Now they're taking scope on this weak pawn here. King g2 to hold on to the pawn. So it's all reactive chess at this point. It's just how it is. King f8. Knight f3. Queen h5. It's really interesting. He's doing queen h5. Potentially rook a4 might have actually been a better move. I'm thinking rook h4 would have been a better a4. Yeah, rook a4. I have no idea what this move actually has in it. It has nothing to really do with the position. Go after weaknesses. See, this actually is the best move here. They actually played this. So we got to, this is the promotion line. But rook a4 is actually the winning line. This wins. Because you're now going after weaknesses. All of white's pieces are on the king side, so now you're going to start doing what Capablanca and Alekhine and the greats did of old, and Kasparov and Benko, Bobby. They will get you enticed on one side of the board, and then they'll shift their forces over and start attacking on the other side. Like another type of an idea, what can he really do here? There's nothing really that he could do. If he tries bishop here, you can always just play f6, and this is still hanging. And if you try to hold here, then now I guess you could potentially try shifting a little bit here. You could potentially bring your queen down here at this point, and then play rook a3 at that. But I think black was a little too hasty with her moves. A little too hasty. Yeah, I understand you got to build up, then you got to execute, but this, you don't want to be as I like to say, fixated on one side of the board. There's two sides of the board. There's something called the queen and the king. So look at the whole board. And I think if she had taken her time, I think that black would have seen rook a4. But you know what? It's like the one thing she wants to do is play rook a3. I understand, but yeah, I have to also be realistic that bishop bishop e4 would save the knight. So it's not like you're going to make any progress. You have to start attacking properly too. And what move are we on? 41. All right. 42. Okay, rook e4. So now this idea is out of question. So back here, if rook a1, he can't play this now, because if he did, you pick up a pawn. But now this is defendable with rook e4. And now the knight could actually come in. Rook a4. Bishop takes g5. Kaboom. Now 6. And then basically bishop takes f. Rook takes b2. Bishop e4. And g8. Oh, not g7, sorry. Bishop, king g8. That loses too much material. Probably f6. Well, rook h4. There we go. Okay. Let's see here. I think you mean knight. Yeah. The knight's always sometimes a good move, but this is actually what happened in the game. So I'm thinking, let me see. Not here, sorry. Queen there. There. Gotta make sure I'm on the right track. 484. So bishop e, a4, bishop takes. Okay, so far so good. F, bishop takes, so check, king there. All right. Yep. Bishop c, c2. We have to play bishop c2 here. This has to be promoted. Ah, come on. I'm thinking that that's not the best. I'm thinking though that they should have actually checked. Checking is actually the bishop. Wow, bishop d4. Why me d3? And if he plays rook check, king g3, and if he takes the pawn, thinking, oh, I'm gonna win a pawn. Rook g4, and now black's the one who's gonna get trounced here. f6. Oh wow, man! If white had just seen bishop bishop to d3, she could have turned the tables on her opponent. Ah, that hurts. That hurts. This is actually a losing move here. C2 loses on the spot. Ah, drat. One more diagonal up and she would have actually held. That is so sad. Knight d4. Rook takes the pawn. f6. King f7. Rook g4. King e8. King g3. And rook a3 check. He played knight f3, which is actually a mistake here. It's actually a losing move. King f2 would have actually been better, because rook takes knight, and now black is winning, because king takes, queen takes h, rook g3, check, king e3, e1, king f. Now she moves back and forth. Surprisingly, wow. Queen c3, king f4, queen takes c2, king g8 check, king d2, king g7, queen takes pawn, king e3, I probably have just they actually played king c5 check, king e4, so I don't think I would have done that. I think I would have just taken. But you're saying, wait, aren't you gonna walk into a potential check here? Yeah, I guess you could say that we are, but you know what? King moves. Now we can get our knight involved and stop this pawn from advancing. But king to e4. So that's actually played. Queen c4 check. King e3. King c3. King f4. King e5. Knight g4. King g4. H5 check. King h4. King h2 check. Queen h2 check. King g5. Queen e5. King h4. He takes on d. Rook g5. Queen h1. King g3. h4. King g4. h3. Pawn h3. King f5. h2. Rook g4. Queen f3. King g5. Promotes to a queen, and black actually resigned at this point. White resigned at this point. That was sad. All it was if she would have found, I'm thinking it's, where is that? Instead of this move here, all she had to do was find bishop d, bishop d3. and it would have been an equalizing move. One sec, I'll be right back. Alright, let's see if the team's here. Yep, the team is here. Let's get on to our puzzles. There we go. Black to move. I mean, not black, white to move. That's funny. White to move. White to move. So knight c4, king d5. I think he's got this here. I think we did this one already. It's okay though. This is the only one that allows for mate. Yeah, not to worry. We'll head on to our next one, onward and upward. Oops, sorry, there's no knight in this puzzle. Sorry, hold on. There we go. Now we got her. Now we got it. Perfect. Mate 2 for white. Got it. I got it. Let's see if you have it. Let's see if you got the right answer. No, not close. You have the right piece, wrong square. How do rooks checkmate the king? You have to think about this one. This one's a little bit, it's a retreating move with check. A retreating move with check. So think, how can you checkmate in 2? Let's take, yeah, there it be. Hooray, hip hip hooray. If you go there, it's mate. If you go here, it's mate. If you go here, it's mate. So you have 3 mates. Excellent job. Nice, nice, nice. Do 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 do. Yes, sir. We're doing good today. We are doing good today. We're getting a lot of puzzles right. Yes, we are. There we go. Yep. Let's see. What do we got? Mate and 2 for white. White mates in 2. Yep, there you go. Boom. Yeah, nice job. Nice spot on that one. Hip hip hooray. That's a wonderful day. I have to erase this. Perfect. Ah, perfect. So I gotta get these pawns off the board. There we go. And away we go. There's a checkmate in 2. Yeah, I got it. Let's see. There's 2 mates. There's 2 checkmates here. 2 checkmates in 2. Queen G4, king there. Okay, checkmate. Nice. Queen G4, king there. Nice. You found both of them. Excellent. Nice, nice, nice. Alrighty. White to mate in 2. Trying to figure out this mate. Yep, it's right, so that's the right spot. Thinking here. Sorry about being quiet. I'm just thinking here. This is interesting. How in the world are we going to? I'm thinking maybe bishop d1. Let's see if there's mate 2 here. Let's mate 4. Ah. Yeah. Let's do it. Mate 1. 2. Mate in 1, that's funny. Mate 2. It was tricky for sure. Let's see here. Oh, not to worry. Glad you're here. Glad to see you play okay. Oh, sorry about this. I have it over. Uh-oh. One sec. Wrong setup. Uh-oh. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Now this is right. Apologize. Somehow that got moved over a little bit. I think if we play, I think he'd take. I think he would play if we played knight e3 check, d takes e3. I think that's. Yeah, mate 2. It's kind of straight, Erie. It's straightforward. It's a straightforward 2 moves. You can't miss them. It's a straightforward 2 moves. And there's actually 2 different mates too. There's 2 different mates and 2s. No, that doesn't work because he's 1 square away from queening. He would actually queen. I guess potentially it could if he queens. Yeah. No. I think it potentially could if he queens. No, you didn't miss it. I think. Let me see here. King d2. King d2. If he queens it, no, it's yeah. I think yeah. It wouldn't work because when we tried to do our check, knight e3, the pawn takes. If knight e3 check, then d takes e3. But he'd actually king d2. If he did that, queen e2, he'd probably turn it into a knight. If he turned it into a knight, then it wouldn't be mate. Yeah, but see, I'll just show it to you. It's f4, and then if he goes, yeah, it was right there. That's why I was trying to say queen f4, check. Queen f4 check. If king e1, then queen c1 is checkmate, or queen f4, king g1. Queen c1 is mate. Well, the knight covered this, the king covered here, and all we had to do was find an in route. These two squares were covered. All we need to do is check and then come in. And that's how we did it. Hey, nice. We're doing good. We're getting there. One step at a time. So no queen in this one. Oops. No queen in this one. Get back here. I have to set this up right. Let's see. Rook here. Rook here. There, there, there. Oh, you want that? Okay. I'll get it for you. Hold on. Sorry, I was right in the middle of, I'm on. I'll wait till it comes up. We'll go over this puzzle and then I'll get that puzzle for you. What in the world? Hold on 1 second. Not again. My computer always, for some reason, has like a meltdown around this time. It's like I'm going to run slow now. Wait a second. I did not push that. Let's get back. Let's get back. Let's get back to our other one. There we go. Yeah, that is true. You know what? The Lord does teach us patience. So let's see. I hope I got that right. Did I get that one right? Yep. So mate. So you okay, Erie? You did the mate already. Okay. So H8, H5, then mate. Yep, that works. I think there's another mate. I think we can move. There's one more mate. Do you see it? Do you see the one more mate? Do you see the other mate? You have the first one right. Rook takes H and then mate. Do you see the other one, Erie? Bishop, bishop F2. If knight goes to H5, there's Rook H3 mate. And if we go here, and if let's say King comes up, we have mate and 3 at this point. But if he just moves his knight, then we have a mate. But he has to blunder. So the first one, spot on. The second one, your opponent would have to make a mistake. Let's see how we're doing. We'll get these 3 done, and then we'll get on to our end game. So 2 pawns, queen, everything else off the board, and white gets 1 pawn. Everything else, semi-black gets 1 pawn. Boom, bang, bang, and then that's perfect. And I need to just put it right here. Yes, sirree. This should be we should be able to get this one for sure. Yep, you got it. Nice work there. Yep, C5 and then mate. I think we have a mate via this. Nope, don't have a mate that way. No, there's only one mate. Great job, great work. All right. Two more. Two more. Hip hip hooray. Queen needs to be out of there. King needs to be right here. King needs to be right here. All right. Yep, that's right. Nice job. See, that doesn't work. That's it. Yep, good job. One more. One more. And then we got it. This is where we pick up next time. There we go. After we get this one done, we will move on to our end game, and I have it ready. Let's see what you think the move is. Make sure I have this set up exactly right. 110%. Yep. Yep, that's it. This is the move. Actually, I think it could be anywhere along here. I'll get this one for you too. This was a fun one to go over. There's a lot of variations on that one. kind of see? What do you think? What do you think, Erie? If you were saying this, and here, this is actually mate. If you're saying here, that's mate. If you're saying here, that's mate. If you're saying here, that's mate. Yeah, there you go. There, that's mate. Here, that's mate. And I think even if you turn it into a bishop, I think it's mate. I think you could turn it into anything like a bishop. So this one's a pretty fun one. I put it for you to work on. There's like 7 or 8 or 9 different mates that you can go over. So now we'll hunker down, and good job on that, team. Now we're going to get into the position of the pawn race. Come on. Come on, log up here. Alright. It is beautiful for sure, for sure. Come on. Just gotta wait for a second. Ah, perfect. White to move and win. This is a complex pawn move. Even though the race seems to be even, the fact that there are two rook pawns means that both queening squares connect along the diagonal. So what Jeremy Silma is talking about is, I have to turn this into a study. What he's talking about is this and this. They actually join with each other. So they're in harmony. And so basically whoever is to queen first covers this square. So if white is to move, black is to move, white is to move, black is to move, white queens and covers this square. And if black tries to queen, then white just comes down and grabs it. Okay, now we're going to go back and get another one. From our knowledge of chess and games, our knowledge of pawn end games, white moved a6 with our idea of chess. Remember how we talked about how if a queen and a king is too far away from a pawn, that therefore it could potentially be a draw. Now it's your turn, then I'm going to throw it back into you, my chess crutcher friends. What move is the draw move here for black? White has already played a6. There's one move that is a draw move, and it's oops, hold on, sorry. Hold on, let me do this first. Let me get to the part that is right here. This is the point. This is the part here. Okay. Yep. Well, I actually should have got to this point. What point here is what's the move that black could play to draw this game? From our end games that we studied in part 4, how do we draw this? Do you agree with play okay? Do you agree with dirty area on king g1, or do you have another idea? King g1, okay. And you are correct. That is the only move that draws the game. He says, thus far the result depends on the knowledge of your this game here, solving that you had to be okay with king g1, not just queening or giving up here. You had to have seen one move deeper at this point here. When white played there, you'd had to see 4 moves or 3 moves and have seen that there would be a draw. And that's why endgame studies are very important, why we're going over it slowly and making sure that we get it 100% here. So that we had to see that potentially king g1, that's a plain old draw. What'll happen is the king will get here, and there's no way after the checks that the queen's going to ever be able to dislodge the king out. And yeah, this is this one here is a study by Grandmaster Reddy. This is a study by Grandmaster Reddy right here, this one that we're going to be doing. I want to ask you a question. Is this a draw or is this a win for black? Is this a draw or a win for black? Of course, it's white to move, but is it a draw or a win for black? Okay. Are you sure? Are you sure? Surprisingly, it's a draw. And yes, you're supposedly outside the box because of this here. But you can get inside the box. Yeah, supposedly if he plays here, I believe, I'm trying to see if that's right. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm doing this right. Okay, here. Ah, that's the move I missed. Sorry. I knew I missed one move. And then here, here, queens, queens, and it's you queen would check. Or if you come this way, or here, this is one that's even more interesting. Here, takes, and now you stop the pawn, so it's a draw. You have two ways of doing it. You have one that you come this way, yeah, and then if he comes over, you come down, he takes, you're inside the box now, and you grab it. He goes there and you win it. Or if he runs with the pawn, then you push the pawn, and if he is to queen here, if he queens here, then you still queen with check, and it's a draw. So there's three different ways to actually draw this game. It was a study that Reddy actually designed, Grandmaster Reddy. Oops, I have to. I'll make this into a study. I think I can, this whole thing. Let's see if we can. Now I have to make the sidelines again. Hold on. And that's a draw. Okay, good. Now we got that one created. Let's do pawn race 5. Would you say this is a draw or a win for black? It's white to move. Draw or win for black? Are you sure? Have you drawn the box and have seen if we can actually win here? Are you sure? Count that and count the squares. Count the squares. Remember how you do it? You go like this. You find out how many things it's away, and then you make a box. And then if the king can enter that box, then he can make it. Can the king enter this box here? Can he enter into the square? It's white to move. This will help you with your pawn races to see if you're losing or winning. Are you sure? Have you? It's white to move here. Remember, it's white to move. What do you think, Erie? Do you think it's a draw or a win? A win for black? Surprisingly, this is actually a draw. Surprisingly, this is a draw. It is actually a draw for white. And I was shocked too, but it is. Oops, not minor pawns. Because if here, boom, he's in. And then if you come here, he comes there. You come up, he comes here. You come up, he comes there. He comes there, he comes here. He queens, and then you queen. And it's a draw. 2 draws. And if he doesn't do it, but let's say he queens here, he queens there, it's a draw. So it's a draw. Interesting, huh? A king and pawn in games are always, this is what Jeremy Silva says, king and pawn games are always tricky. If you enter one, or even one that seems hopeless, take a long think and try to grasp the position's true meaning. This involves taking into account promotion with check, promoting with check, the square of the pawn, remember how we talked about that inside the box, opposition, triangulation, outflanking the king, and king's ability to escort the pawn to the 8th. So you have to remember the basically 4 things. Is it going to promote with check? Number 2 is opposition. Number 3 is triangulation. Number 4 is outflanking the king, and number 5 is getting your king inside the square. That's what we have to remember. Okay. We're entering into a new section, so we're probably let's get into the new section, and I'll see if we can't get one more done before time. Do you remember the name of this? Do you remember the name of this setup here? And our endgame chests? Yeah, it's Zook Swamp, but what is the name of this position here? Yeah, you got it. It's not Zook Swamp, but if you but this has a name. Remember we talked about it. It's what they used for a catapult. It's the rock in the catapult. Or I'll spell it for you. It's that one. That's what Jeremy said. That was what was that was in part 4. We looked at that type of a setup. It's white to move here. Would you say that it's a win for black or a draw for black? White to move here. Win for black or draw? Is it a win or a draw for black? I want to see what you, my chess cruncher friends, think of this position, and see if you think it's a win or a draw. What do you think, Erie? Do you think it's a win or a draw for black? Draw. Yep. Erie's right. It's a draw. Because of b4, white will force the win of the d5 pawn by a resulting position. If black's responds properly, it is a basic draw. King c7. And then king d8. d8 exclam. You have to see this move, so that when he takes here, you come up. Remember, if we had made a mistake and played king d7, king takes, d5 wins. This is actually a mistake. I have to make this into a study. I forgot to do that. be. If he plays that there, then this is actually a win for white here. This move is actually a blunder, and this move is an exclam. So the best move here is actually knight d8. We're promoting that to the main line, and we're going to give this one an exclam. And now that he plays there, we come up, and there's no way to avoid a draw. And there's a draw. You just move your king over. You move your king to c7. If he comes there, you still go back to d8. And if he takes, you come forward. Same thing. Same thing. You have to remember when he gets to c5. You have to remember. You have to remember to go back to d8. King d8 is the exclam move. You have to remember that. King d8. Then after he takes, you pull. You go king d7, and it's a draw. We'll do one more, and then I gotta log. Yep. Is this a winner or a draw for black? White. Win or draw for white? I'll give you one more minute to choose, and then we'll start down the line, and then I'll let you see if it's a winner or a draw. The further we go in, I'm not going to tell you because I want you to make your own decision as we go. Who you think's going to win? Give you one more minute to make a decision. A win or a draw for white? You are right. It is a win for white. This white actually forces black back via knight a6 when king d8. Then what happens is king b6. Actually, b6, not b7. Sorry, king b6. Yep. And then what we do is we go king b7. He goes back, king d8, king c6, king e7, king c7, king e8, king takes d, king here. We move. Now it's us to move. And then he goes king e8, d6, king d, d. You can see king c7, and then king e7, and white resigned. I mean, black resigned here. So you have to be careful. The pawn was one square closer, so you have to always remember. And I know you guys did see this. You saw that the difference was this: that the pawn was right here in the prior variation. Let me go back here. The pawn is one square lower. It's all based on if the pawn can get to the 6th. If you can get the pawn to the 6th, you can actually escort it down via. And then you win. These two examples were nothing more than the glorified version of the basic king and pawn alone theory. But knowledge of them allows us to solve positions clearly that, aside from simple pawn races, are considered otherwise unexplainable, basically unsolvable. The several examples made in these two examples we made, and then he says we're going to be going over more examples. And then he talked about how the one we're in right now, 19, this one back here was the one we priorly were in. He said the whole basis for black being able to draw was opposition in this one. This one here, it was the basis of, let me see, 20, white's on the 5th, a decisive advantage if the king can crash through and pick up the enemy pawn. If white has a pawn on the 5th or black has a pawn on the 4th, it could crash through. Why see which move are we talking about? Oh, right, on move 5. Why not c8? You could do c8. If you take, then he takes d. He moves. If you move, then the same thing happens. It doesn't matter. The pawn, if the pawn was on the 4th though, like back here, if the pawn was on the 4th, you wouldn't be able to do that. You still have the same thing. It's all based like what Jeremy Silman says. If your pawn can make it to the 4th, or black can make it, make it to the 5th. If white can make his pawn to the 5th, excuse me one second, and have the king in front, then you're winning. Excuse me. If black can do the same but get his pawn on the 4th and have his king in front, then you're winning. So it's all based on who can get here or there. One second. Okay, I think we'll stop at this point because he's opening into a whole nother section after this, and I'll have to make a whole new endgame setting for that. So, do you have any questions before we log off? Okay, any questions? Play okay? If he's on the, if a pawn is on the 5th, like this, go go back and type in my name, Business Law, and then go to my studies and click on that, and then go over it, and you'll see the difference of the two. And that'll really help you with your studying of this type of an endgame, because it's hard to explain. Jeremy Silman's so full of knowledge, it's hard to explain all of the endgame. He does it so good. But okay, if there's no other questions, then do you have any other questions? Okay. I wanted to thank you for all logging on and participating and watching, and we're going to be going over some more end games and some more puzzles, and just keep getting better. And our goal is to get past 3,000 on tactics, but you have to be ready for that with all the studies and forcing moves and everything that the new puzzles that are coming out. They're a little tricky, so we want to be the one to not be tricked, but the one to solve them. We have to always remember that before we sit down and do over the board, or OTB, as we some say it, you have to put on your Grandmaster calculating glasses or lenses or whatever you want to call them. Just remember to bring that to your chessboard. And remember what Yasser Seramon says: every long journey begins with one small step. And I like the Tango: treasure your victories and learn from your losses, and remember that mistakes do not define you. It's how you handle the mistake that defines you. And Bruce Lee says that knowing is not enough, you must apply, and willing is not enough, you must do. So we have to take what we know and be willing to work it and change it and get better. And then Bruce Lee also said that he feared not the person who had practiced 10,000 individual kicks, but he feared the person who had practiced one kick 10,000 times. And he also had a really good saying that I like of: there are no limits, there are plateaus, and we must not stay there. And he's a good example of that. He didn't let an injury that he had get him down. When he couldn't walk for a while, he walked on his hands. So it tells you, you know what, find a way. If you say, oh, I don't have enough time during the day, well, you know what, there's maybe 10, 15, maybe 5 minutes. Just spend some time with chess. Try to spend as much time as you can with to improve, and you'll see an improvement. And like E. Nightingale says, we become what we think about. That's basically it. So if you do like on Little Engine That Can, some of our kids shows actually have what was just said there, that Rusty said to the little engine: if you think you can, you will. If you think you can't, you won't. Either way, you're right. So if you believe that you can become a grandmaster, or however far you want to go in chess, it will be. If you say you can't, that will be too. Because for some reason our minds will sabotage us. If we think negative thoughts and we don't go into it positively, even if you're like having a rough day, don't let that affect your studies. Hone right back down into it, and like our chess cruncherism, don't give up, get up. That's the chess cruncherism there. And let me see, I think we've covered all of our isms, but we forgot one. Our favorite one. When we're studying and most of our fellow friends are playing, are doing other things, and they come over and say it, they say, what you doing? I'm a chess cruncher. And if they don't know you, they'll say, what's a chess cruncher? You could say, like Tigger, a chess cruncher hangs up their coat, they hang up their hat, they sit down and study when most won't. They do, and that makes all the difference. Now, as Wesley so says through the Lord Jesus, as I say, God bless. I'll see you next time on Chess Cruncher TV. Have a blessed morning, afternoon, evening, and Lord willing, I'll be back on tomorrow. And we'll step it up a notch and keep having fun and enjoying. Great job on the puzzles. Some of those were tricky, but we solved them. So, you know what? 2 thumbs up. Hoorah. Be blessed. And I'll see you tomorrow. And thank you for participating. If you like what you see, click follow and join us on our journey. Bye bye. Be blessed.